Mora down the left side. Cross goes Robinson. Mora's ball into the box. That's Okiros down the right. Vanderpool. Back it comes for Parkins. He'll find Fire-on, and Fire-on all the way back to the goalkeeper, Esteban Alvarado. US Soccer on TNT is brought to you by Volkswagen, presenting partner of US Soccer. Half an hour gone here. Brian White's goal, the difference. Pressure coming there from Zimmerman, comes back out to Anelli, and this is Kramaski.
Obviously, a bit of a cliche, you know, practice how you play. But I'll tell you, we watched possession, we watched a little bit of session the other day. I mean, the intensity level, firing out, putting pressure on the ball, it's no surprise that it translates when you train at that level of expectation. Pochettino all over players, yelling at them when they don't do it. That's one thing we've seen today, and one thing under Pochettino so far. It's just that commitment to close down space and get around the opponent and hurry them and disrupt things. I mean, that's been good so far in the first half hour of this match. You know, Costa Rica just really struggling to find a rhythm, and you know, this is a team with definitely confident and capable players that obviously we've seen the skill, we've seen the composure. The U.S. is just making it very difficult for them to play between the lines and establish a rhythm.
Miguel Herrera won a couple of league titles with Club America during his time there. 10 stints as manager with 7 different Mexican clubs for Herrera, who takes over the 54th ranked Costa Rica. This is Luna. Space opens up a bit for Luna, comes back for Kramaski. Luna wants it played through. He couldn't quite get that ball as it was fed forward, and Mora slides in to put it out into touch on the far side. Costa Rica started brightly. They had all those corners, but it's been the US dominant for the last 15 minutes or so. Costa Rica lost 3-2 against Panama on aggregate in the Nations League quarterfinals in November. Lost 1-0 at home in San Jose, tied 2-2 in Panama City in the second leg. So now they have to play against Belize in March in the playoffs to qualify for the Gold Cup this summer. Costa Rica making 16 of 17 Gold Cups and 14 in a row since missing 1996, but work still to be done for Miguel Herrera's side. Jones, now Anelli. Zimmerman playing it forward. Vasilev won't get there before the keeper Alvarado comes to claim.
Yeah, the one thing about Anelli's game, we were, Bees and I and Dunny were talking about it, and Pablo was great at this, and I'm sure he's going to get advice. It's like, you watch players like Busquets and others, you know, sometimes he wants to be very energetic and go check to the ball. He wants to go find open space, but a lot of times you got to just stay still. I mean, when you just stay still, you can find those open spaces.
Gutierrez in towards Anelli.
You know, it sounds
what Mauricio Pochettino said yesterday, so let the ball run. You don't need to follow the ball.
It sounds counterintuitive, and young players, it's something that's so hard for them to figure out. That you're kind of taught, even with drills when you're little, and there's too much of this stuff now of sprint off the cone, go get the ball. You know, the greatest sixes, the greatest low playmakers and deep line playmakers, they let teams shift and create passing lanes. If you're running while they're running, it's so difficult sometimes to find you. And you know, the Xavis, the Busquets, the Pirlos of the world, these are players that aren't fast, you know, aren't getting away from people. You just watch how they sit and let gaps open up for them. And that's one thing that I think he can pick up.
Mora down the left side. All the way over the top. Mendes couldn't get there. Then Jones battling for it. Looked like he was caught there in the face by Perez, but doesn't come to anything anyway, so that will be a goal kick.
Yeah, Claudio Reyna was excellent at that. I remember playing with him, and yeah, he just so smart about taking just a step to his side, and he's obviously composed and excellent on the ball and can get turned. That's a player that I grew up watching, knowing full well I was going to be anything like the way he played. I was watching Tab Ramos more. How do I take people on and be deceptive? But Pochettino, I just love the confidence when he gives instruction. He's very hard on these guys. It really is about trying to get them confident of what they're capable of.
Forward by Crachel Perez. Up towards Brand. Alejandro Brand down the left side. There's an opportunity here for Mora to whip that cross into the middle. Stefan palms it away. Hasn't been an awful lot for Zach Stefan to do so far. Pochettino keen to make sure that every player within the squad got the opportunity to start a game in this camp. The only player that hasn't had that chance is Matt Fries, the goalkeeper. He said that's no slight on Matt Fries. He's been really impressed with all three goalkeepers during this camp. Schulte, of course, who started at the weekend, Stefan and Fries. Drake Callender was in the squad but then left due to an injury. Fire on out wide to the far side. Fire on the 24-year-old Herediano defender.
Here's a look at that chance. I mean, it's really just the pace on that. Hit with a tremendous amount of pace, and Zach Stefan does well not only to punch it, but just get distance on that punch. There's no easy rebound.
Perez with a lovely ball down the right side, and Axel Quiros is chasing forward. Quiros whips that across goal. Robinson hooks it clear. And Mora is there on the far side on his 13th cap. Mora plays it back towards Alejandro Brand. Brand tries to curl to the top corner. Zach Stefan with a big save, and is behind for a corner.
What a save. What a save.
Let's take a look at our AT&T net cam, and what a stop this was from Zach Stefan.
I mean, look at that. That thing starts dipping down. I mean, it starts 5-10 feet above the bar, and just last minute starts dipping down. And I mean, that's going in. That's probably hitting the bottom side of that crossbar, and just the extension to be able to tip that over. Wonderful save.
Brand denied a second career goal for his country. Ream looking to get this one away. Luna then will clear second time.
Brand, I mean, the set pieces so far. He knew he was going to be able to hit that based on what we've seen on the corner kicks.
Like it comes to fire on. His last start was against Argentina last March in LA. This is Luna, and that's got to be a free kick.
And a card.
Van der Putten all over Diego Luna. Yellow card shown.
Yeah, great strike there from Luna. I mean, just...
Diego Luna is certainly not one of those number 10s who doesn't like a fight.
He's not backing down, that's for sure. He might not be able to breathe right now, but he's not backing down.
Luna with the assist tonight. Brian White with the goal. Gutierrez standing over the free kick here as we approach the 39-minute mark on a cold, rainy day in Orlando. Gutierrez hoisted high into the back post, and it's claimed by Alvarado. Robinson had come forward there on that far side, and then clashes there with Esteban Alvarado. Free kick, the decision from the referee. It's the first US game for Christopher Corrado of Guatemala, and I think a yellow for Miles Robinson.
It's interesting. It didn't really look like he was intending to do that. The angle that Alvarado ended up taking was just right in his recovery path. We're going to look now. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
He was trying to make it look like he didn't intend. Anyway, a yellow apiece now with 5 minutes to go until half-time. US winning the last 4 home meetings against Costa Rica with 9 goals scored and just 1 against. Enelli, all the way back towards Zach Steffen. Coming up next, the Volkswagen half-time show. Sarah Walsh with Bees and Dunny, pitch side here in Orlando. Perez will bring it forward. Wide to the right it goes here for Josimo Mendes on his debut. Parkins, all the way across for Ryan Bolaños, back in for Rashir Parkins. Rojas couldn't bring that one under control. Here come the US once again as Luna feeds it forward towards Gutierrez. He's got Brian White ahead. That's a big challenge coming in from fire on. Mendes. Perez will look to switch it all the way across to the far side for Mora. Alejandro Brown for Costa Rica. Costa Rica failing to get through in Copa America last summer, finishing 3rd in the group with 4 points. Did get a 0-0 draw against Brazil so far. That's a big challenge coming in there from Brian White. The referee allowing play to continue. Kramaski comes forward, rolls it towards Gutierrez here. Gutierrez cutting inside. What a great run from Gutierrez! It's Gutierrez denied by the block there from Bolaños. He danced his way along the edge of the penalty area. Back here for Enelli. Now Luna. Gutierrez into the path of Brian White. Just didn't quite fall for Diego Luna. 3 minutes to the break. Rashir Parkins is the player that is down here.
Was that on that White tackle? Was he the one on the ball? It was hard to tell in transition. It was some tackle Brian White put on it. He got knocked down 2 or 3 times and was looking at the referee for a call. He does the best thing you can do. Don't complain about it. Just go and put someone on the ground with a great tackle, and it was an excellent tackle. Here's a look at it. Yeah, there's a challenge right there, and led to that lovely little sequence for Gutierrez, as you were saying, tiptoeing around, just demonstrating his balances.
Not sure Miguel Herrera is too happy with the official on that challenge.
I think that's kind of his default state, isn't it?
This is Enelli. Back it comes for Jones. Reed. Now Kramaski. Enelli once again. Now Jones. Pushed forward for Diego Luna. Inside the final minutes of the half. The US unbeaten in their last 8 games in Orlando. The last one was across town at Camping World Stadium against Brazil last June. 1-1 draw. They've won all 6 previous games in this stadium as well, and 4 of the 6 wins with a clean sheet. 22 goals scored here at the home of Orlando Pride and Orlando City for the US men's national team, and just 2 conceded.
Yeah, Reem, we talk so much about Reem and his age and all this sort of stuff. He was third on the beep test.
Yes.
Although I don't think they called the beep test these days. It was so funny watching Melissa and Pochettino trying to figure out what they actually call it. There's a new version of it. Anyway, you slice it, the beep test made everyone fearful, especially when you had a nice January and you're away on holidays. But Reem, he said to us, yeah, I'm getting older, so I've got to be fitter. It's just his professionalism, you just hope it rubs off on some of these young players, because it's wonderful.
Forward comes Parkins. Parkins rolls it in towards Mendes. Great covering defending from Miles Robinson. The way opening up there for Costa Rica as we move into the 1 minute of time added on. And Robinson rushed back and made a really nice intervention.
That's the good part about having a person that thinks like a center back playing right back, that's always trying to be there to help out his center back pairing. And just he read that danger really, really well, and also smart. He's just an intentional touch back to Zach Steffen.
Gutierrez in the challenge there with fire on, gives away the free kick. And Costa Rica's players asking the referee for another yellow card there, but Gutierrez will not go into the book. 1 minute of stoppage time is up. Mendes going chasing down the left side here for Costa Rica. Back it comes for Mora. Maybe one last opportunity for them to try and level the game here heading in at half-time. The whistle goes to bring a close to the first 45 minutes here in Orlando, and the United States lead by a 1-0 against Costa Rica. Brian White's first international goal, assisted by Diego. 21st minute, and it looks like a triple change is coming up for Miguel Herrera and for Costa Rica, including the introduction of Alan Cruz. Cruz, one of the more experienced players on the roster. This will be a 25th cap for him. Former Cincinnati player. Played for Cincinnati in their inaugural MLS season. Scored 7 goals that year, Alan Cruz. He'll be coming in, as will Kevin Espinoza. And also Orlando Sinclair, who played in the US with Loudoun United in 2019 and New England Revolution 2 in 2020. Big save from Zach Steffen towards the end of the half to ensure that the United States would lead at the break. But Brian White's goal remains the difference. And it looks as if there might be a couple of changes for the US as well at the start of this second half. Looks like Matko Milhevic is out there. And Jack McGlynn is coming in as well. Milhevic had the penalty saved at the weekend. McGlynn wanted the ball. Mauricio Pochettino said they did not name a penalty taker ahead of the game because they wanted to see what would happen if a penalty was given, and they kind of thought that Jack McGlynn should probably take it, but that Milhevic would actually grab the ball, and that's exactly how it played out. But Pochettino said he was happy with McGlynn's response because he tried, but he didn't go too far. He didn't cross the line, and he let Milhevic take it.
Now, that being said, we were told there is a designated penalty kicker this time.
Yes.
He didn't say who
well,
it is.
Well, that was for the second half as well, if there had been another penalty.
I could guess who it is.
But Jack McGlynn coming in, Milhevic, and it looks like maybe a Caden Clark as well. So a triple change for both sides at the start of this second half. Clark started the game at the weekend. So we'll wait and see who it is that's
now they're just
gone off. There is no Diego Luna.
To Diego Luna. And we hope, obviously, a good, great performance, that he's all right.
So Milhevic coming in for a second cap. Miami-born attacking midfielder who had a team-high 5 shots against Venezuela. Plays for Huracan in Argentina, having just moved there from Newell's Old Boys, which was the club where Mauricio Pochettino came through the academy. And also started his senior career. His recommendations to Pochettino from the coaching staff at Newell's that got Milhavik into this lineup today. Costa Rica also changing their goalkeeper. Anthony Walker is coming in. Van der Putten, Mendes and Parkins, the outfield players, to leave the game for Costa Rica. Alvarado, the goalkeeper, has left at half-time as well. Brian Gutierrez is out for the US, as is Diego Luna. And I think Ben Kramaski is the other player. And the only person more confused than the commentators right now is the fourth official, who is trying to get all those changes onto his board and may well delay the start of the second half here in Orlando.
That sign's going to be smoking in a second.
Maybe better that it happens now than in the 60th minute, as it did at the weekend in Fort Lauderdale. Well, there was no doubt that there were a couple of outstanding performances at the weekend. Adjiman was one of them, but Jack McGlynn, well, you have to think when Mauricio Pochettino talks about there being a few players who could potentially make that step up, and having performed as they have done in games and in training here, maybe be knocking on the door of that Nations League roster in March. McGlynn has to be one of them.
Yeah, you're not going to get Pochettino to admit it or say it, but it's clear. I mean, we watched him in training the other day. He seems like how he holds himself, how he plays, how he trains, his composure, his deceptive nature, his passing ability, that he's at the next level. And so, I mean, listen, there's still room to grow, still a ways to go, but McGlynn is the player so far that has shown his ability being a little higher than this level.
So we're underway, the second half in Orlando, with the US leading, and 45 more minutes for some of these players to stake a claim in Mauricio Pochettino's mind for a place in the Nations League squad in March, when the United States will take on Panama in the semi-finals as they go for another CONCACAF Nations League title, fourth in a row. And of course, it is a Gold Cup year, so a lot of these players are in with a chance of being in that Gold Cup squad as well this coming summer. It's one of the other things Mauricio Pochettino talked about, the value of this camp, the fact that when they come into a Gold Cup camp, for example, these players now know how he wants to play. Ball hooked forward by Vasilev into the path of Brian White. White's ball across goal, just glancing the head of Caden Clark. And they'll be brought away by Quiros on the far side. Clark has gone on to the left. He started on the right at the weekend in Fort Lauderdale. Milhavik playing in the 10. It's occupied by Diego Luna in the first half. Straight swap really, with McGlynn coming in to take the place of Kramaski alongside Anelli in the centre of midfield. Here's Robinson. Zimmerman forward. McGlynn out to the far side, and Bream will play that ball down the left touchline. Bream's head coach at Charlotte, Dean Smith, was in attendance in Fort Lauderdale at the weekend, watching Bream and also supporting Patrick Adjiman in his first US appearance. Here come Costa Rica down the left side. This is Sinclair. Orlando Sinclair inside here towards Brandt. Back out wide for Mora. Now Ryan Bolaños down the left touchline. Bolaños curls that into the middle. Bream volleys it away. Anelli cuts it out. Milhavik brings it forward, and Brian White is in space down the left side. McGlynn charging forward down the right. Brian White looking to play the ball back through for Milhavik. Here comes Jones. Anelli. McGlynn, who got his first international goal from long distance at the weekend. What a sweet strike it was. Vasilev. Vasilev's ball curled in, is cleared away by the captain, Fayeron. Rachel Perez up against Milhevic down that far side. Rojas, a teenager with some fancy footwork to get away. There are high hopes for Andy Rojas, who is coming through at Herediano. Sit downstairs to Melissa Ortiz, who's been chatting with Mauricio Pochettino.
Mauricio Pochettino said that in the locker room. He told the players that there was really good high intensity in the first half. He really enjoyed watching them play in between the lines, but in this half wants to continue seeing them just finding those open spaces in between the lines, especially with their movement. I asked him, is there anything different he wants to see in this half? He said he wants to get a little bit more momentum on the left side. He also said that because Benjamin Kremaski in the first half is playing a bit more defensive, he wants to see Jack McGlynn to be more offensive.
Vasilev tracking back. Morrow that gets there first. Morrow's ball into the box. Good step there from Zimmerman. Vasilev up towards halfway. Indiana Vasilev came on for Gutierrez in the 73rd minute against Venezuela, but getting a start tonight. His first senior camp.
It's just this grab on Robinson on his shoulder. There's not a foul down below, but they just pulled him back. Referee makes the right call there. And we talked in the first half about Robinson in this right back role, and Bees was talking about the injury and not really getting back to his best. I still think there are high hopes for Robinson, and not the most comfortable today in this right back role. Just saw him turn the ball over a moment ago, but I want to see him still commit to trying to get forward. I think he's one of those players that Pochettino trusts and knows that there's another level there and will try to get it out of him.
The other thing from Mauricio Pochettino's point of view, and he talked to us a little bit about it with DeJuan Jones, he knows what Miles Robinson can do as a central defender, just like he said he knows what Jones can do in a natural left-back role or pushing forward down the left. He needs to know if Jones can play the Anthony Robinson role, or if at right-back Robinson can fill in. This is White with the ball across goal. Caden Clark couldn't get there. And that's why there are specific, bigger picture reasons why he's made decisions about this team selection tonight and how he wants them to play and who he wants to play in those positions.
And we asked him, did you look at Costa Rica? Did you make any of these decisions based on them? And he wasn't disrespectful, but said, no, I haven't looked at Costa Rica at all. We don't do that. And historically, his staff has been about, what do my players need individually? What can we get out of them, and how do we put them in great positions?
White's ball here into the path of Clark. Back it comes for Vasilev. And now McGlynn. McGlynn with a sight at goal. Didn't quite sit up for him on this occasion. In confident mood though. This is Clark. Clark back from McGlynn on the edge of the box. Picked up here by Robinson. Vasilev. Neat play here as it comes back out for McGlynn. Sinclair battling with Anelli.
McGlynn's approaching in like a Steph Curry mood. He doesn't see a shot he doesn't want to take. You can see he's winding up every time it falls to him.
Sinclair making a run through the middle here as Rojas drives at the US back line. Brand just outside the area here for Costa Rica. Rojas. Jones away towards halfway. Swirling rain around the stadium here in Orlando.
That's not affecting the American Outlaws. You can hear them banging away, always showing up for the team.
Morris' first touch is good, and his second plays the ball in towards Sinclair. Back here for Brad. Rojas. And the shot is wide from Perez. Last time the US played here, it was a 1-0 win against El Salvador. Nations League game in March of 2023 when Ricardo Pepi came off the bench and won the game very soon after. They played Played a January camp game here in 2021, a 7-0 win against Trinidad and Tobago. Miles Robinson scored his first international goal. Jesus Ferreira got a couple. Here's Jones away down the left side.